Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 3 of our league tournament that happened at Die Hard Games on May 8th, 2025. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. Free Win-A-Playmat Tournament Thursday, May 15th at 6 p.m. Destined Rivals pre-releases start Saturday, May 17th at 1 p.m. League Challenge, May 29th at 6 p.m. League Cup, May 31st at 12 p.m. And mid-year celebration tournaments will be taking place every Thursday in June, featuring Sun and Moon through Journey Together, Standard, switch deck between rounds if you want, GLC, and Aceless formats. All Central Time, all at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in the video's description and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as league challenges, league cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. Round 3. On the left, we've got the walls, I believe. On the right, we've got Raging Bolt, Noctowl with Squawkabilly in the active spot. Our play on the right is going first here as they top deck and stare at their hand. They probably want to Squawk and Seize here this turn, especially since they've got the Squawkabilly EX forced in the active spot. So first going to Nest Ball, search the deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench, and they quickly and nicely find that Fan Rotom with its Fan Call ability being used now. That can only be used on the first turn, but when you do, search your deck for up to 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less. So maybe grab 3 Hoot Hoot or 2 Hoot Hoot. They're going for the Hoot Hoot, double Hoot Hoot, and the Noctowl, which means they're probably not gonna Squawk and Seize. Having a Noctowl in the discard pile is okay because you can get it back with like Night Stretcher or something more outs to it, but we'll see how our player chooses to navigate here. Maybe there's was already just too much precious resources in hand to discard with Squawkabilly. So attach a lightning to the active and then just pass. They didn't even bench that other Hoot Hoot either. That's interesting. Either way, Artisan is put into play by our player on the left as they start their first turn here. That stadium allows a player to search their deck for a basic non-rule box Pokemon to put onto the bench, and it's going to be that Feebas here. So we're going a Melodic EX angle in this matchup. Maybe that's just the best attacker as they play an Earthen Vessel, discarding a boss's orders to search the deck for 2 basic energy cards to put into the hand. The Melodic has the Sparkling Scales ability, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks of your opponent's Terra Pokemon done to this Pokemon. Raging Bolt's not Terra, but maybe it's just the best attacker they have in this matchup. I don't know. Is that a Girafarig right there? Or a Faragariff, whatever it's called? Yeah, so that would be a pretty good attacker here with its ability that prevents attack damage done to it from basics. And this is pretty much all basic attacking deck. But either way, we'll see how it works out for our player here as they grabbed a couple energy with that Earthen Vessel, attached a water to the bench Feebas, put a spec tool Hero's Cape on that Feebas, giving it plus 100 HP for free. The strongest, most heroic 130 HP Feebas chilling right there, getting energized. Monkey Door in the active pass. Okay, we're going to see some stuff happen here, but before we can Noctowl and Jewel Seeker, we've got to get the Terra Pokemon in play, right? So first going to use Artisan to search the deck for a basic non-rule box over on the right, and they're going to choose the Baby Bolt, the Raging Bolt non-EX, put onto the bench. That could have been pretty good here if the Hero's Cape wasn't in play. The Raging Bolt can snipe your opponent's bench, do damage to the opponent's bench Pokemon. But oh no, are we doing it? Okay. Pretend like you didn't see anything. And then when that Noctowl evolves and there's no Terra in play, then it just evolves and nothing happens. And the only reason you really want to be evolving that Noctowl is to use Jewel Seeker. So we saw nothing. Our players are cool with what's happening here, and they're having a good time as they fire off this judge over on the right. The supporter card, kind of a desperate supporter here now to have both players shuffle their hands into their deck and then draw cards from the top that are equal to the number 4. You want to be playing things like Crispin or Professor Sada's Vitality at this point. Prime Catcher, Professor Sada's to Prime Catcher to taking out this Feebas, with the Raging Bull EX or something would be optimal, but very unlikely, especially with Judge being the supporter here. Sadly for our player, takes me back to that turn 1, how that was navigated. I wonder what exactly was in the hand that they didn't want to get rid of pre the fan call, because remember they could have fan called for a triple hoot hoot and then Squawk and Seized, or even could have got that knockdown and discard to be recovered later if they play recovery cards, even like the Night Stretcher. Anyways, I'm going to get off that rant here as our player next plays an Ultra Ball, discarding Area 0 and Fan Rotom to search the deck for a Pokemon. It probably will be the Terra Ogerpon now to get that established, and our player agrees. Search deck for any Pokemon Basic or Evolution with the Ultra Ball. It's going to be the Terra Teomask Ogerpon EX to put onto the bench with a 1-card hand here. Ooh, pretty scary place to be for a player on the right. So we're going to go Squawk and Seize. Not Squawk and Seize. Motivate on that Squawkabilly EX. 20 damage, and you can accelerate basic energy, 2 basic energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon on your bench or something like that. No targets there, so just 20 damage as our player on the left starts their next turn. I don't know if they could start swinging with Hypno Slash this turn. So they're going to start with Arvin. That supporter allows them to search their deck for an item and a tool card to put into the hand. Debating on the Ultra Ball. It depends on what's in hand. Can you get rid of stuff with the Ultra Ball? But you have to find that Melodic. You really don't want that Feebas sitting there. Even with its buff HP, the Melodic has a lot more HP than the Feebas with the Hero's Cape on. And looks like a building turn as the Technical Machine Turbo Energize was selected off to Arvin. Ultra Ball now discarding Buddy Poffin and duplicate Artisan to search the deck for a evolution type, this time in that Melodic EX that gets evolved on the bench. TM Turbo Energize gets attached to the active Monkey Dory. Fighting Energy gets attached to that monkey as well. And we're seeing Turbo Energize here. So that Technical Machine tool, Turbo Energize, gives the Pokemon it's attached to access to the Turbo Energize attack. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. So Turbo Energize, 2 Psychics on to that Melodic EX. It's getting ready to Hypno Slash next turn. The TM tool gets discarded as well, of course, in between turns as our player on the right draws for their next turn. All right, Gustin taking out this Melodic EX would be the best thing for them, but taking some kind of KO would be good, but instead it's another Motivate for 20. Okay, our player on the left now starts their next turn, retreating Monkey Dory into that Melodic EX, and then using Hypno Slash for 160 damage, KOing the 160 HP 2 prize Squawkabilly EX. Fan Rotom flies into the active spot over on the right, and play resumes there as our player checks out the board. Puts Pheasantipity EX on the bench. So Flip the Script is ready to go since there was a KO taken on their opponent's last turn. They can draw 3 cards with that ability. And they're looking for a lot here. But Noctowl can make things happen. And there is a Raging Bolt EX just put onto the bench now. Fighting energy attached to it. Now where's the Noctowl? It's Professor Sada's Vitality. Okay. Just accelerating one energy since that's all there is this time to one ancient Pokemon. Normally you can accelerate one energy to up to two different ancient Pokemon that you have in play, but just the one this time, that's okay, it's something. And then draw three cards. That Professor Sada's. Now let's see, that Melodic has 370 HP with that Hero's Cape. So I think that's like so many energy to discard with the Bellowing Thunder. The Raging Bolt EX, of course, has the Bellowing Thunder attack. You may discard any number of basic energy from your Pokemon. This attack does 70 damage for each card you discarded this way. So see, you want to, as the Raging Bolt player, flood the board with energy through Professor Sada's, Crispin, Teal Dancing, manual attachments. Any way you can get energy on the board, but it looks like they're out of steam here as they just pass back over to our player on the left, who has the boss in hand. Boss's orders brings up the Raging Bolt EX from the bench into the active spot. Now we're going to start chipping away at it, looking through the hand, or excuse me, the deck with Artisan, and now establishing that Girafarig on the bench. That evolves, of course, into the Frigoraph with that basic attack damage blocking ability. So we're getting that ready to go now. Energy attached to that Girafarig, and then a Hypno Slash. 160 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. The way sleep works is in between turns during Pokemon checkup, you flip a coin. If heads, you wake up. If tails, you're still asleep, and you cannot attack nor retreat that turn, and you do another check in between turns again during Pokemon checkup. So here's a sleep flip, and it's tails. That Pokemon stays asleep. That's why they're tilted counterclockwise as well. Drawing a card on the right and seeing what's there. Now we got to get out of the active spot and back into it potentially. Like I said, Noctowl can make things happen. So evolve Jewel Seeker. Since there's a Terra Pokemon in play in that Teal Mask Ogerpon EX, search your deck for two trainers. Nest Ball and Earthen Vessel are the two trainers. And the Earthen Vessel is being played now, discarding that Iron Bundle to search the deck for up to two basic energy cards, put into the hand. And it's Grass and Fighting. Grass to accelerate to Teal Dance. Ogerpon on the bench there and draw another card. Something to keep in mind is Pheasantipity EX Flip the Script is not live because there wasn't a KO. So Teal Dance, accelerate that energy to that Ogerpon, draw a card. Fighting energy attached to the bench. Raging Bolt, Baby Raging Bolt. We're debating this Professor Sada's here. Do we play it now or save it maybe like for next turn, because we cannot attack while we're asleep. If we move to the bench, then our special condition will be removed. Then if we go back to the active, we can attack that way when we're awake. Or we could go in with that baby bolt and yeah, because you could do 60 though, and that doesn't KO the Monkey Dory. The baby Raging Bolt, of course, let me look it up and double check, but I believe its attack does 30 times how many energy are attached to it to a benched Pokemon, something like that. But let's just read it nicely written out by Big Pikachu in that Thunderburst Storm. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each energy attached to this Pokemon. So yeah, it's like 30 times the amount of energy attached to it. To an opponent's bench, the most we can get on there would have been 2, but how do we get it into the active spot even, So we'll stop thinking that line of thinking at least. And then pass, as we got to see another flip here, but it's pretty much a useless flip as this Melodic is going to take the KO on the Raging Bolt, whether it's asleep or awake. So Iono is the first card played on the left here. Both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. Some disruption, mixing things up, seeing some new cards yourself, but really just comfortable cleaning up the KO here with Melodic's attack. Two more prize cards, two remaining. You're feeling pretty good as a Melodic player here. As Teal Mask Ogerpon, EX on the right, dances into the active spot. Play resumes there, but our player looks at their board, looks at their hand, doesn't see a way out. Their opponent is probably too far into this game, even if I can get an attack and KO with that threat, just the threat of the Viraga Rift to call it a game here. And let's go to the next one. What do you think of this video in the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our players for letting their game be captured so we can all learn and enjoy. And I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.